Hello, Beez Bladers! Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. I've had a lot of requests over the last couple weeks. Hey, can you check out some Ganzos? Hey, can you check out some Firebirds? Well, guess what? They contacted me and said, hey, would you mind if we sent you a few? And I was like, sure, as if. So we have 3 to check out today, and ooh, look at that tip. A little bit of ADHD there. This is the Ganzo Firebird Fh91. Would you look at it? Just look at it. And here's a little bit of texture vision right off the bat. It has good looking texture. As far as feel, I'd give it about a 3.5. It does have some palpable texture, if you want to call it that. And look at this. For a knife that costs, I think this one's like $25, $26, it has a reversible deep carry pocket clip. It's a strong clip. The bottom of the clip is not a pocket grabber. You can see right there how it's almost inset into the, well, it is. It is a little bit inset. You can see there where that goes in. So that's why that's not sticking out. That's usually what grabs your pocket. So you're going to be good to go. There are a couple mushrooms growing in the shade there, but it's not going to be an issue at all. Have a little bit of jimping up here. It's not quite aggressive as I prefer, as I like, but it is an attractive looking knife. I love that it has a lanyard hole for all the people that love a lanyard. And are you ready to see this blade? Pow! Right in the kisser. Oh yeah, look at that. And you know, I would have to say the only thing that I notice about the Ganzos and the Firebirds is I always wish that this logo was smaller and up in the corner. That's my only thing. This right here just kind of, I could go with that being up here. I think the blade would look a little better, but very nice looking aesthetics from this side. Very nice on this side. And as you can see, there's your FB knife made by Ganzo, Fh91. And the Ganzos, they are some nice knives, I'm telling you. Is it solid? Yes. No play left or right. No play up or down. It is solid as a fixed blade. I mean, there is no movement at all. What's our lockup? The lockups, I'd say around 45%. And we already looked at the centering. The centering's good. This is a nice size knife. And your blade, just shy of 3.5 inches. So you have plenty of working blade. And just give you a quick idea, here's the QSP Penguin to let you know what the size is. So, you know, if you don't have a Penguin, what? Get yourself a Penguin. Let's check out the action in the ergos. I almost forgot. We got to see if it'll cut some paper. Oh, yeah. That's a very, very nice edge. Ooh, right out of the box. I mean, it is cutting so smooth. I love it when they come right out of the box ready to do some cutting. All right, so here's the push button. Pow, yes. I mean, the push button works great. And look at that. Look at that. That's almost 100% drop shutty. I haven't taken it apart, haven't cleaned it, haven't oiled it, haven't done anything. And there's your action. Just barely giving it a little bit of gravity. Wow. And here's the light switch. Light switch is really good. This is one you hand to someone and they just... Oh yeah, the Detent is awesome. So many knives I get, I'll hand them to someone and they'll pull this back and fail it. This is not one, I mean, they would have to really have a soft touch to be able to fail it. It barely takes anything, so the action is superb. And then there's your sharpening choil, your plunge grinds up here, you're good to go for that. I wouldn't say this is anything to use your finger for choking up, but wow. Look at that, look how smooth that is. And this is a $26 knife. Are you kidding me? Now, let's check out the ergos. My hand from here to here is 4 inches. From here to here is 3.5. From here to here is 7.25. And in my hand, no hot spots. Now, I can feel these edges right here. They're kind of 90 degree-ish. But that's to be expected with the $26 work knife. They don't hurt my hand. I definitely can get a good, solid grip, solid purchase on it. I'm not getting anything that's digging or hot. The pocket clip's not bothering me at all. It's kind of a low profile pocket clip. I can tell it's there, but it's not an issue. The jimping isn't really helping me much. The jimping is it's back here too far and it's kind of slick. It doesn't really grab my fingers whatsoever. So definitely could use some more aggressive jimping to help out with that. This is going to be a good, solid work knife. And the nice thing about these is when you have a Ganzo and you know you spent $26 on it, if you lose it, it's not the end of the world, right? Now, it might be depending on your budget, and that's another thing to consider. But for a lot of folks that are knife collectors, this is a great one that, do I use my fancy, expensive one to open up this bag of dirt, or do I get one of these out? This is going to be a great work knife. I would say the only little nitpick that I would have with this one, and that I'm noticing when I'm digging the knife down in the palm of my hand, I can feel this corner right here, and all that would take is about 2 or 3 brushes with some sandpaper, and that little corner right there would be gone, and then it would be super comfortable when I'm placing it in my palm to close it. All right, let's go to the next one. This is one of my favorites. I have a video. Also, I'm pretty sure I disassembled this with it, and I'll put a linky-doo up there. This is the Firebird Fh922, one of my most referred knives. When someone's like, hey, what do I give for a gift knife? This one, the Fh922. I love this knife. It is, I can tell you from experience, I've had this knife, I don't know, at least a year, and it is so snappy. It is so easy to use. Look at that. Brand new, right out of the box, drop shutty, super flat, neutral ergos. They're comfortable. The edges are rounded off. Look at that. This knife is so comfortable in hand. The pocket clip doesn't bother you at all. And here's some pluses. I got to remember, tell them some things about the knife. It has a wire clip. This wire clip works fantastic. And besides that, it's reversible. Oh, right. And the texture, it has spectacular texture. Matter of fact, here's the one that I've had for however long, the green one. There's different colors available probably in all of these models. I'll put links in the description if you want to go check any of these out. This is another knife for, I think it's like $25, $26, and is a fantastic knife. D2 blade steel. Look at that. Look at that texture. You gotta love it. It is like one of those essential knives. Like, yes, get this for somebody's birthday, for their Christmas, or because you want to get 2 or 3 knives, give one to the mailman. This is an excellent, excellent work knife. It has a great blade shape. Look at the finish on that. That's very nice. Very, very nice. The jimping is a little better than the FH91. The jimping does give you grip. I wish a big improvement would be if they could put the jimping out to here. That would be fantastic because my thumb goes out farther. The jimping just barely touches the back of my thumb. Now, if you hold your knife back here, yes, you're good to go. Maybe if you're going to hold it back farther like this for a little bit of utility cutting, that might be good. But the jimping, while it is good and is grabby, doesn't serve a lot of purpose for me personally in my hand size. This is what it looks like in my hand. It is such a comfortable knife. It is one that I used to grab every day, and this would be the one that while I'm driving down the road, I would fidget with. If you like to fidget, this knife is so smooth. The pass-through is just right. You don't have to dig your finger in there to close it. It works absolutely fantastic. There's not much I could say bad about this knife. For the price, for what you get, and for the action, I love it. Let's go to the next one. This is the Ganzo D727M. Would you look at it? And does it not look like another knife that we're all familiar with? Yes, I noticed it does look a lot like an Ontario Rat 1, and then I started finding the differences, so it is different, even though it is definitely inspired by, to say the least. But here's a look at the texture vision. Look at that. Oh man, the texture on this thing, fantastic. You are not going to lose the grip on this bad boy. It has a reversible clip, and this is a working knife. You can get it in and out of your pocket really easy because you're going to have this much sticking out of your pocket, which I really enjoy when I'm using a knife a lot. And the crossbar lock, that's something else I really enjoy. If I'm outside doing yard work and I'm putting my knife in and out, in and out, in and out of my pocket, I prefer to have something to grab a hold of. So this definitely is a working man's knife, a working woman's knife, super strong pocket clip. There's nothing underneath the pocket clip to grab your pocket, so it's easy in and out. Let's take a look at this blade. You ready? Pow! Yeah! Would you look at that? Just look at it. So the differences that I noticed, the placement of the thumb stud is different. The space between the scales and the plunge grind is different than the Ontario Rat. The Ontario Rat has 5 screws. The Ontario Rat has a flat area right here, which this is rounded. So because at first I was like, I don't know, that is that a the dreaded C word? But it has enough differences not to mention this one has a crossbar lock, whereas the other one does not. Now let's check out the action. Almost went down. Let's see so this one, you got to give it a little bit of a swink, a little bit of a shake. Look at that. So you take it out of your pocket, you use it, cut something, put it back in your pocket. You don't have to fiddle, you don't have to fidget, or you can use this. Yes, you can do it one-handed. So there's opening and closing with that crossbar lock. And this will get smoother over time. It is pretty smooth, but it does probably need a couple drops of KPL. It's easy to open, has a good snap. I wonder if we can reverse flick this. Yes, you can reverse flick it. And the ergos, if you've ever held an Ontario rat, this is right there with it. They are some of the most ergonomic and comfortable ergos you can imagine. I mean, it is absolute butter in my hand. You know, there's a lot of fans of the Axis style locks or the crossbar locks. Now, left and right, it is absolutely solid. Nothing, no play, no movement either direction. It is as solid as a fixed blade. Love it. It has this little ramp right here. If you hold it back in the traditional sense, your thumb does fall into this ramp, and that's really good for doing push cuts. And then pull cuts are really comfortable. This is another perfect example. This one I think cost $1 more than the other two. Another great work knife, under 30 bucks. I love the under $30 series that I'm doing. I have a playlist where I'm adding them all, because when people are like, hey, what's a good work knife that if I lose it, or if I leave it on the fishing bank, or if I leave it at a construction site, I'm not going to be crying for a week. And I'm like, hey, check out the $30 or less, because that's where it's at. D2 tool steel. Now this one has a nice tall flat grind. Wow. I mean, and if you have D2, I always suggest get you a diamond stone. It's going to make them sharpen up. Now this one, it costs like $26.95 or something like that. But you can even get a cheaper version that has 440 steel. So if you want the 440 steel, a little easier to sharpen, easier to strop, and it's a little cheaper, that's an option too. So let's get the other ones out. So this is the FH91, this is the D727M, and this is the Firebird FH922. Absolutely love all three of them. This one right here I have the experience with, and it is a great work knife. And Ganzo is like, it's like a household name. So many people that I meet on the streets that aren't into knives, but they carry a pocket knife, they end up having one of the Ganzos or the Firebirds. So I hope you enjoyed this, and maybe one of these is one that you're interested in. Of course, I'll have links in the description. Make sure you go watch this video. You're going to enjoy it. And until I see you again, or see you in the chats, or see you at the Hive stream every Friday night at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, remember, live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.